What's good, everybody? This is Emerald Knight Leon back with another deck analysis. If I sound a little different, I'm sorry. It's late. I just recorded a video about EX3, and if you're interested, I highly recommend you watch it. It basically is me. I don't know if I want to say complaining, but kvetching about Bandai because they have had a lot of erratas and typos in EX3 cards. And I still haven't been able to find them all. There might be more from the cards that I haven't gotten yet. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. It's 1:37 in the morning. I'm tired, but you know what? We're going to keep on trucking. Today I wanted to cover a bit of a personal pet project deck of mine. And one that I actually have been wanting to make for a while. It is a tribal Pulsemon deck, which is something I haven't seen really anybody attempt or make. I haven't seen it really in any tournaments. Personally, I haven't had the time to run it in tournaments. I've only been able to run it a little casually, which is unfortunately what this deck is kind of relegated to because of decks like Crossheart and Blue Flare and Jessmon that just overtake it. But there are some fun combos that can be achieved with this deck, actually. So, to start things off, we are running 4 copies of Digimon. This is probably one of the only times I've ever been able to run Digimon in any deck because of its very specific inherited. When attacking once per turn, if you have 3 security cards, gain 1 memory. This is actually the first step in a very specific combo memory refund scheme. Moving on to our level 3s, we are running 2 copies of BT10 Pulsemon, 4 copies of BT6 Pulsemon, 4 copies of BT7 Pulsemon, and 4 copies of Promo Pulsemon. Now, yes, if you don't have Promo Pulsemon, I don't know how expensive he is right now. I've been doing this in a lot of videos, but let's check what his price is as of right now, because I'm even interested right now. Pulsemon, not Pulse-On, Pulsemon. Promo Pulsemon currently is running at minimum $7. The Double Diamond pre-release variant alternate art is about $17. The Digimon Card Game Fest version is about $6. So there you have it. It's below $10 at the very least. So if you wanted to get them for this, great. If you don't, you can just run 12 rookies in that. Just run 4 of each Pulsemon. And there are some other rookies that might benefit from this deck, but that would kind of take away from the whole tribal bit. But who cares about that? Let's talk about Pulsemon. Pulsemon from BT10 is the newest Pulsemon. It digivolves from 0 off of Digimon. I don't know why they have to specify that. Actually, I do. It's because we don't just have a Digimon here. There is a green Digimon that this Pulsemon can actually digivolve from. It has the effect, while you have 3 or less security, this Digimon gains blocker. So it works as a good, late game, just throw it down blocker if you need to stall for time. In another variant of this deck, I actually swapped around the ratios a bit for the Pulsemons, where I had 2 promo Pulsemons and 4 of the BT10 Pulsemons. Moving on to our other Pulsemons, we're running 4 copies of BT6 Pulsemon. This is the second Pulsemon we ever got. It's on play. You may trash cards from the top of your security stack until there are 3 left. Gain 1 memory for each security card trashed. So essentially what this does is it just refunds the memory you just spent on playing him. To a degree. Because you're only going to be able to trash 2 security. So you're only going to refund 2 memory out of the 3. It also has a inheritable where if while you have 3 security cards, this Digimon gains jamming, which is really nice. And see, this is the problem with the deck though, is you have to consistently keep your security at 3 and only at 3. Because a majority of the effects that go on in this deck require your security to be at 3 to get the most out of all of their effects. Moving on, we got BT10 Pulsemon, which is a vanilla Pulsemon except for it's inheritable. When attacking, if you have 3 security cards, gain 2 memory. Now, already combined with Digimon, that's 3 memory right there. We're going to get some more, though. We also finally have the promo Pulsemon on play. If you have 3 or more security cards, draw 1. If you have 3 or fewer, gain 1 memory. All of these Pulsemons can be played from Impulse Memory Boost, which just lets you play a Pulsemon for free. And then it has a delay effect of gaining 2 memory. Moving on to our level 4s, we are running 10 level 4s here. We are running 2 copies of Darkmon, 4 copies of BT6 Bulkmon, and 4 copies of BT7 Bulkmon. So Darkmon is our throwaway level 4, but it does have a benefit here. Its inheritable basically is when attacking once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -1 until the opponent's turn ends. This is actually very nice because, you know, if you're able to, you can just make it harder for your opponent to swing into your very precarious security stack of 3. We are also running the 4 Bulkmons. This is the aggro Bulkmon, as I like to refer to him as. He is the Bulkmon that you can hard play if needed because he's a 5 cost. And while you have 3 or more security cards, he gets security attack +1. Not often he will survive, but if he is on top of the jamming Pulsemon, he might be able to live a few times. And that's honestly all for the better. Finally, we have BT7's Bulkmon, where while you have 3 or more security cards, it gains blocker as it's inheritable, which is nice. Moving on to our level 5s. Now, this is the crux, because one of these level 5s is really useful for this particular style. We are running 3 copies of BT7 Boutmon. This is a 6 cost to play, a 3 cost to Evo, 7000 DP, and it has the effect when an opponent's Digimon attacks a player. If you have 3 or more security cards, unsuspend this Digimon. So this can be combined with our BT7 Bulkmon in order to unsuspend it and then block with your blocker now. And now for the real one. Promo Boutmon. Who here remembers Promo Boutmon? Answer, not enough people. Reason. Because the only Digimon people really associate with Pulsemon is Achilles and Shivamon. This has a very good effect for what this deck does. When this Digimon would Digivolve into a card with Shaman or Wizard in its traits, you may trash up to 3 security cards from the top of your security stack. For each security card trashed by this effect, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. Inheritable. When attacking once per turn, if you have 3 security cards, unsuspend this Digimon. Now, why are we running the promo Boutmon? Achillesmon here is a Beastkin. It's simple. Venusmon is a Shaman Digimon. And because she's Shaman, we can reduce her cost to 1 at most. But for the right combo, you want to do it to 2. The reason why is you're going to trash 2, bring yourself to... You trash either 1 or 2. If you trash it, if you have a security memory fixer like TK, you're going to go to 3 naturally. Then you're going to trash 1 from Boutmon's effect in order to reduce the cost to 3. You're going to Digivolve into Venusmon. She's going to have all of her, effects go off. And then you use Blinding Ray in order to trash the second card in order to gain 2 memory, essentially almost refunding her Digivolution. Now, this only works when you only trash 1 card from Boutmon. But if you don't have Blinding Ray, you're still able to trash 2 to reduce her Digivolution cost to 2. essentially bringing you to 1 memory. Now, that is a viable option, actually, if you have impulse memory boosts in play that you can just use them in order to gain memory. Otherwise, your goal here is to get Venusmon and then get Achillesmon. You want to do this because you want to first make sure your opponent can't swing into you, and then you want to make sure that Achilles comes into play when you have 3 security. The reason is simple, and let's talk about Achilles. When Digivolving, if you have 2 or fewer security cards, recovery +1. Now, this does mean, yes, you could go into Venusmon by trashing 3 to reduce her cost to 1. That is true. Yes, you could. But Achilles' second effect is where it's at. When attacking once per turn, if you have 3 or more security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5,000 DP for the turn. If you have 3 or fewer security cards, gain 2 memory. This is the 5 memory refund strat. You have BBmon, Pulsemon, and then Achillesmon. To basically, with those 3 cards, with those 2 under Achilles and 3 security cards, you're able to not only kill off one of your opponent's Digimon, but you're also going to be able to get 5 memory off of just a single attack. And that's the kind of strat that can go well with this deck. If you're also running Darkmon and you have Venus out, you're not also going to be able to give one of your opponent's Digimon security attack -1 so that it can't, activate its when Digivolving or when attacking effects, which is the whole crux of Venusmon. So Venusmon has when Digivolving, all of your opponent's Digimon gain security attack -1 until your opponent's turn ends. Opponent's turn. Your opponent's Digimon with security attack cannot attack this Digimon, and any when Digivolving or when attacking effects of those Digimons don't activate. They can still attack the security for what that's worth, but more often than not, they're not going to get any checks off. And you can make sure of that by just doubling down with the Darkmon. Or even better, doubling down with Healing Therapy, where one of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -1 until the end of their opponent's turn. If you have Venus in play, 3 of your opponent's Digimon gain security attack -1 until the opponent's turn ends. And then its security effect is just activating the card's main effect. Now, we've talked about Impulse Memory Boost. Let's talk about Lonke Adiscato. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I really am, but that's just how it sounds to me. Lonke Adiscato. If you have a Pulsemon or a Digimon with Pulsemon in its Digivolution cards in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. Main. If you have 3 or more security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 12,000 DP for the turn. If you have 3 or fewer security cards, place one of your opponent's Digimon face down on top of this security stack. Do you see the running theme here? As mentioned earlier, you need to keep your security at 3. Because a good chunk of these effects go off at their full max potential by having exactly 3 security. We've also talked about Blinding Ray, but finally let's talk about Tamers. We are running 2 copies of TK. He's reliable. He's a memory setter. If we're at 2 security and we play him, we get to recover 1. If we are at 5, we can, get a yellow card, then recover, go back to 5. And then we're also running 1 copy of TK and Kari. Just because until we go for the kill, we're going to be trying to keep our security at 3, which would be lower than our opponent's. It also has a side benefit of when we're attacking with a yellow Digimon, we can suspend it to have one of our opponent's Digimon get minus 1,000 for the turn. So that's also good. Now, that is it for the deck, but there are cards you can tech in. because I understand some people don't have Pulsemon's promo. I understand that. For Digimon that you might want to tech in for that, there is Tinkermon from BT10, which will also give a level 5 or lower Digimon security attack -1 until the opponent's turn ends. Recovery Salamon from BT2 is an option if your security is a bit more precarious and you're not able to consistently keep it at 3. Starmons with how many Pulsemons you're playing because of Impulse Memory Boost, Starmons can actually benefit here because you'd be able to get off at least 3,000 to 4,000 DP minus subtractions. Tapirmon from BT6 is also an option because during your turn, if you're removing a card from your security stack, which you are if you're using Promo Boutmon and the Blinding Ray, you can draw 1. And then Salamon has a when attacking, if you have 3 or more security, draw 1 as well. So early game, it can be a good card for getting draw power. For option cards, Tactical Retreat is a viable card. You could use it to basically bounce any of your Pulsemons back into your security. Spiral Masquerade, for the same reason as Starmons, is just because you can get a lot of damage off of it. Wyvern's Breath, just because it does do minus 15,000, so most things die to it. Most, not everything. If you don't want to run the Impulse Memory Boost, Yellow Memory Boost is an option. It won't really let you play cards, but it does search, which is sometimes a benefit, I can imagine. Finally, Holy Flame for the Venus tech, basically just adding more deep security attack subtractions to your opponent's Digimon, just so they can't do a lot of things because of Venus. For option cards, if you're running a slight more healing, recovery focused with keeping things at 3, Kari from BT8 is an option because you can suspend her to gain memory when a card is added to your security stack. And then if you wanted to make your security more dangerous, TK from the starter deck 3 is an option because it's a cheap 2 cost and it basically buffs all of your security Digimon by 2,000. So that is it for this deck analysis. I wish this deck could be more competitive. I do. I understand why it's not. We got Crossheart, we got Blue Flare, Jessmon is still a threat, and Lord knows it probably wouldn't stand up to Black War Gray. But I won't deny that it is a fun deck to play, actually. Getting that 5 memory on a single attack with Achilles is just... oh, that feels good. That feels real good to do, actually. But, again, that is it for this deck analysis. Leave a like, comment, tell me what you think. You know, this is kind of a more casual deck. I get that, but, you know, sometimes we want to play casual. So tell me, you know, if you want to leave a comment, tell me. What kind of casual decks do you like to run on your off time when you're not doing tourneys? You know, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.